Hello everyone. How are y'all doing? Doing good. Welcome back to Reptiles and Resin. Okay, so this video is not going to be that long, but I'm going to show you how I make my resin paste. I honestly just make it in the container. This is the one. See, it's got a little clear on top. This is my white pearl from Mayspring, and I just wrote pigment paste on it. But with this, the only thing, I'm not going to do it right now because that would be a waste of sticking my stick in there without no resin, but this is good to go. And see, it moves around. But what you want to do is after you make it is stir it up real quick before you use it in your resin. But today, I'm going to show you how I make it with the indigo obelisk. And I just got these in, but I want to make them into a paste because it's just easier. So what I do is definitely get all the powder out of the lid that's in there so it doesn't drop back down in your resin. You just get you a clean stick and get you, I use A. You can also use part B, but I just use A. And I just squirt some in here. I like to use the little bottle for this, and I just squirt some in here. Kind of cover the top a little bit, probably about an ounce in here right now. Put about an ounce, and then I'm just going to start stirring it up. And that's all. I'm going to leave it in my container. What is that in there? And you're just going to stir really slow, because if you don't, this powder is going everywhere. Trust me. So you want to slowly stir. Once it starts incorporating, you can stir a little bit better. But for right now, you want to slowly stir. Actually, oh gosh, this stuff is all over. It's leaking down. I think it was turned over. I'm gonna actually take the top off of this and pour some in. Alright, and like I said, just pour a little bit at a time until, I want to wipe that off of my hands so I don't get it all over the side here. I'm going to keep this paper towel with me because I don't want to mess up my jar. So yeah, you're just, and it's going to soak up all that mica powder into the resin. And I'm stirring slowly. This is basically a full bottle of mica powder because I have not used it but once. So yeah, I don't use anything to break the powder down with or anything, or crush it. I just stir it slowly until it all gets incorporated. That's all. Just slowly stir it. Because over time, it's no different. It's just going to break it down. And it'll be easier for you to use it. Now, I ain't going to say this happens overnight. I mean, this takes some time to do. What I'm saying, well, to mix. I mean, it's not a and you're good. If I did that, this powder would be flying everywhere. You want to give this powder time to soak up some of this resin you're pouring in. So yeah, you just want to give it some time to soak up that resin. It's not a rush job. This ain't no wham bam thank you resin ma'am. Take your time. Now see, it's starting to catch and it's getting blobby. And you'll know. And I think this is the 50-gram jar of resin. So once it starts getting moist, see how it's kind of moving a little bit better now and not going everywhere. Yeah, see, it's clumping. So in a minute, it should be coming together a lot better. See? Yeah, it's starting to clump. I'm going to put some more in here. Like I said, I just do a little bit at a time. until I get it to where I need it to be. It takes some time to get my powder mixed in. Like I said, it's a slow process. And once this is mixed to where I can actually stir it, what I'll do is let it sit for like 24 hours. And during that 24 hours, whenever I pass by it, I'll just stir it up again. All throughout the day, I'll just stir it up. That's all. Okay, we're going to need some more. Let me not leave that dripping on the side there. I'm going to just keep top off, because we are getting there though. But yeah, just whatever you have left over of resin. You can use A or B, like I said. You don't have to use A. You can use any. And you can also use smaller bottle of mica powder too. Okay, now see how it's starting to move? Yeah, there's still some dry down in there. But it's getting there. See? It's getting there. It's starting to get all thingy to where it's not a lot of dry. Right now it just looks like a really, really clumpy paste. So yeah. But we're getting there. And you want to take your time because you don't want to waste it. You just want to slowly stir it. See, now I'm able to start to actually stir this around and around. Oh, let me move it off there. So see, now I'm starting to be able to actually stir this. And like I said, this was a full bottle of paste. Well, it will be paste. But it was a full bottle of the mica powder. I only used it at one time in the owl. So, and I had someone ask me, you know, how do you make it into paste? Well, this is how I make it into paste. So, some people get a thing and crush it. I can't remember what they call those things, but I don't do that. I don't feel the need to, because once it sits, it's going to soak up in your resin. So yeah, so see, now I can really stir it. Ow, my hand. Ooh. And like I said, it's going to be a little gritty. But after time goes by, it's not going to be as gritty. That's why I say I like to stir it for like 24 hours after I made it. Just stir. Walk by about 3 or 4 times a day maybe and just stir it. And see, I can actually really stir now. But you can see like the graininess. That's what I'm looking for, the graininess of it. You can see that graininess. And it's not going to be perfect right now, but the longer it sits, like I said, in that 24-hour period, and I'm just trying to scrape up under this little lip here, trying to see if there's any powder left up under here. Just trying to get all the powder. And I like to leave it in its original jar. I don't want to put it in another jar. Why? I want to leave it in its original jar and just leave it. So see, I can actually stir it pretty good. And like I said, there's not a lot I can do with this right now until it sits good. Once it sits good, I might have to put 1/4 ounce in here of more resin, but I doubt it. But yeah, see, it's that easy. Like I said, now, with this being made now, the only thing I'm going to do is come through here once in a while and actually just stir it around. Once in a while. I'm even going to leave my stick in it, and I'll just put my top, like, well, actually, no. I'm going to just put a paper towel over it so no dust or anything will get in it. And I'll just come by and stir it. And see how pasty it is? You can leave it like that. You could put a little bit more. That is up to you. But that's how I do it. And it works just fine. You're not fighting with all the graininess of the powder or the powder flying everywhere when you're mixing it into your resin. So, yeah. I think I'm going to actually put just a tad bit more. Just a tad in there. Oh. It looks like it needed just a little bit more there. Let me pick it up and stir it. It's easier to handle in my hand. There we go. Yeah, that looks a little smoother there. So basically you just want it a little smooth. And the more that mica breaks down in here, the smoother it will get. So it will smooth out. I've got my camera really close because I want to make sure y'all can see. Hopefully it focuses. Let me pull it up a little bit. Maybe it'll be a little better if I can. I want to see how it'll get a shininess on top. But yeah, you can make it runnier if you like. But this is pretty good. And when it settles, what you're going to have is a clear coat on top, like I said. Where did that other one go? You're going to, once it settles, you'll have a, I don't want to get no purple in here. You'll have a clear coat on top. That's why you want to remix that. So you want to make sure you remix it every time you use it. Just give it a quick stir. That's all. And see, we have our own pigment paste. We don't have to worry about fighting with the powders and the resin. And it's very easy to do. You can do the small bottles like this. That's the same thing. You can do the small ones as well. Just, I like to leave them in the bottle. Alright, so we're going to leave this here. Let me get some alcohol. We're going to just leave that there, and I'm going to let it sit for, like I said, 24 hours. And I'm going to just let it, like, soak in. Now, this little bottle right here, I would, because it is so full. See how full it is? It would be kind of hard to do that in this. What I would do is just take some of this powder out and put it, like half of it out, and put it in a cup if your mica powder is that full, and I would mix it to where it's only half, and then I would start adding a little bit at a time back in until I got it the way I wanted it. But yeah, like this one would be hard to do with it so full. I don't know how many ounces. This is the Slice of Moon True Red. I don't know about True Red, but it's alright. It is 12 grams. It's not, to me, a True Red, but it's okay. Now, something like this, you could easily mix up. So, yeah. See, it's not even a half a bottle, which these bottles right here usually aren't that full. So, the only thing you would do is, I would start by just putting a little bit in here. Oops, I did not mean to get it on the side there. Let me find a small stick for him. Okay, and I would just stir this in the bottle around and around and around. You could probably actually, oops, well now I'm making messes. I didn't want to make a mess, but yeah, just stir it around and around and around till you get it to where you want it. I keep dropping it out. It's getting there. It needs a little more though. Alright, not too much more. It's only a small bottle. So yeah, you could do your small bottles like this, and then you don't have to worry about the powder. You'll just have the paste. And these little bottles should be easy because there's not a lot in here. But I figured I'd do this one to show you. And just work all that powder in. And I would do it the same way. Like come back, stir it up some more, come back. So you can do your small bottles as well. It doesn't have to be just the big jars. Do your small jars if you want to. That is totally up to you. But yeah, this is the crimson, which is a really pretty color. And I'm just stirring it around, making sure I've got it all off these crevices. And you would just let it sit. Like I said, stir it up, let it sit. I do have enough resin in this one though. I don't need to put no more resin in him. But I'm just going to let him sit right there, and I'm going to keep stirring until I break it down to where it's not as gritty. I just keep stirring. I just let him sit there. Let me wipe off my hands. Oh, that doesn't go to that. This one does. So yeah, that's all I do. And it works out just fine. You don't need a mortar and pestle. I think that's what they call that thing. I don't use that. That's a lot of arm work, and my wrist definitely ain't gonna feel like that. But yeah, see how it's now silky on top? So when I walk by here, I'm gonna just leave it right here, and I'll just stir it up. I'll keep stirring until it just, like I said, after a day you don't have to keep stirring. But that's just me. You might not even have to stir it all, but that's what I do. And then by the time it's time to use, it'll be all soaked in that mica powder wheel. And you'll be good to go. And usually for probably about 4 ounces, I wouldn't put no more than that in it. And that's not a lot. Maybe even a little less than that. So yeah. I just want to share that with you guys. I hope y'all learned something. Or you might already know. Or everybody has their own way of doing this. This is my way. I don't have no problem with it this way. It works for me. You or someone else you know may have another way. Oh, and when you do get finished stirring it and everything, just wipe off your edge and then put your top on. Like take paper towel and just wipe around it. Now see, this little bottle was very easy because it wasn't that much in there. And it really isn't much in here now with the powder in there. So yeah, I'm still going to just let it sit here and do its thing. And I need to put this in a project and stir it up. So I will save these sticks. Instead of doing, like scraping or anything, I will save them and mix them up in a little resin. So yep, it's that easy. Not hot at all. Just do not put A and B in there or you will have a hot mess. That's a no-no. Don't do that. Don't put A and B resin in there. Just put A or put B. And don't use UV resin. That's not going to work. You need epoxy resin. I have not tried deep pour. I don't think deep pour would work. It might. I don't know. I haven't tried it. You can use fast cure. I do know that the same way you could this. Now you might be able to use deep pour resin the same. So I haven't tried it. But yeah, just make sure you cover it up, come by, stir it up a little bit, and it will be good to go. Make sure you take your paper towel, wipe your top, and then put, your top of your jar, and then just put your lid on, and it'll be good to go the next time you're ready to pour a piece of resin. And the only thing you gotta do is stick your little stick in there, stir it up a little bit, and then Put it in your resin project. It'll be easier to stir in. You won't have mica powder flying everywhere, and you won't have all that grittiness of the mica powder, because I did notice that with the mace spring it was a little gritty, and it took a minute to like get into the resin and actually mix good. So I will be doing all those mace springs that I brought like this, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But I figured I'd do this one on camera, but that's all. It's not that hard, and like you see, I'm still stirring. And I'll just do this throughout the day. I will just stir it. I'm just stirring it now because I'm still talking to you. Other than that, I would have walked away. But yeah, I just keep stirring. I leave a stick in here. Keep it stirring. But that's it, y'all. Alright, I hope y'all learned something. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I tried. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.